you every day. I must have been adding words because these are coming up different. Consideration for others goes a long way toward your enjoyment. So I am usually with small groups, but even if I'm just with a friend, and she doesn't want to get up at the same time as me, I'll be quiet. Or, I want to go for a walk in the morning, she just maybe doesn't want to do that. That's okay. Consideration for what she wants is important as her consideration for me. So let's just be nice. Some quirks. These are some quirks that I've come across and I find them amusing. So if you're Catholic and you're in the church and you get to Rome, yay, it's important. They love going to Rome. All the nuns, all the priests, I've seen the priests have all their graduation things around the statues and stuff. So it was at the same time as this gladiator girl who they've tried to move them away from the Colosseum, but she was taking photos with people, so they're there. Looks like it was Palm Sunday maybe. And I don't remember the date of this picture for sure. And then another quirk is Venice. Venice is different than us in almost every way possible. And this is the Acqua Alta. They're used to it. That's a truck. That guy pushing that wheelie thing is a truck in Venice because there's no trucks, there's no cars. Everything's by foot, and there, I don't know if you can really see, there's some other people, the guy in the red shirt's wearing purple boots. They could buy boots that would go up high to keep your feet dry. And so if you can enjoy those quirks instead of be like, it's so weird, it's really amazing. And in fact, the Venetians will go, Acqua Alta, it for us is normal. It's normal. For tourists, they don't like it. It's normal, so it's good, it's fine. A lot of gondola rides, I've done that a whole lot. This guy, we usually take a singer. And people think gondola rides are kitschy, but they're really wonderful too. And there's a reason that people go and do these things again and again and again, whether it's the Colosseum or the Eiffel Tower or a gondola ride. They are wonderful. And the nickname for Venice, as it happens, is La Serenissima. The serene one is what it means. Because before there were boats with engines, the only boats around were the gondolas. And so that's another time travel thing. They're narrow because it's made up of over 100 islands, and the little canals that go between have to have a narrow boat. The canal is also, the lagoon is also quite shallow. It's about 10 feet maybe in the deepest parts. So it's a whole lot of sandbars that they had to go around. So they would know their way around. But there's a reason that the gondolas are shaped the way they are. And that the gondolier will stand on one side because of the way it's built. I love the little road sign. That's a road sign in Venice. It means only gondolas can go down that one. So it's the only place you're going to see a road sign like that. And then this is me with a lovely gypsy girl in Florence. And, even them coming around, I can smile at her. She wants money from me. I'm not going to give it to her, but it doesn't mean she's not making her way, so I'll be friendly with her. This shows somebody just a month ago. He's very comfortable being uncomfortable. I'm going to say you need to be comfortable being uncomfortable. This is like a pro. So, also, there's a couple other people being uncomfortable. One guy is sleeping at the airport, and then this one, he let me take his picture. Because I said, you're looking pretty comfortable being uncomfortable. He's holding his whole meal in one hand and eating it with the other while he's waiting to meet his family on a flight. So it was just so nice. But here he was, fine being uncomfortable. My ex-husband doesn't like to be uncomfortable. I'm really good being uncomfortable. It's not a big deal. So now I have some practical tips to show you. This is like my 5th grade show and tell project. So I wanted to show you some of what I'm bringing when I go with. So first of all, I still like paper, so I carry paper with me. And these envelopes, I used them always when I had itineraries, but I still use them on trips. I was just in Burgundy on a wine bike trip in the fall, so I still use it for that. I collect things in it, my maps, my itinerary, my tickets. So I always like to have it, and with different colors, you know that they're different places. I always carry a small notebook or two. I believe that out of sight is out of mind in my case. I know my weaknesses. That's one of them. So everything is clear. Clear bags. I love clear plastic bags. I don't love that I have to take medicines. Oh, okay, thanks. But I have to take a couple things. So here's my vitamin C. Thanks. Look at that. I can travel. So I also have little snack bags for all my medicines. I take them all in a slightly bigger bag, but I don't want to take all those little medicine things, you know, that you have to flip everywhere. So everything's got to be small, compact. I actually will count out at home how many vitamin C's or whatever I'm going to need for an entire trip. And I'm often gone for months at a time. So 2-3 months, and I've got like 60 vitamin C's, okay. Here's one of my favorite little things is, I love the slippers from the hotels. I have a collection of them. They are made with cloth and cardboard. If you wear the slippers in a hotel, they're not gonna keep them, they're gonna throw them away. So in my case, they become great souvenirs, and I use them all the time. I don't really know how well they clean the floor, so I want slippers from the hotel. And what's around them is my other great tip. This is a shower cap. So if you're at a hotel that has shower caps, use them. They are perfect for shoes or boots. They even cover the bottom of my boot, and I can see through it. So I was telling one friend, and she said she uses jewel bags to wrap around her shoes so that they don't get your clothes all dirty. But I love a shower cap because it fits on everything. And then, let's see, and the slippers. Oh, a scarf is very important. Take scarves, male or female. I cannot tell you how good men look wearing a scarf. Is this not right? Raise your hand if you agree that men look good in a scarf. See that? It's for real. So take a scarf, buy a scarf, wear a scarf. I happen to have scarves for winter. I just got this silk one, but I was going to wear a different one today, but this seemed better to look. And summer weight scarves. I believe in scarves all the time because it's not just a layer to wear, but it's also a pillow, a blanket, a cover up. It can be so many different things, and they make great souvenirs to give to people too. Because when you buy scarves, they're really lightweight, and you can fold them up really small in your luggage to bring home. Here's some of my business cards for after. I like the face wipes. This is another example of putting all my cords together, but being able to see them. I want to know what's inside every bag. I even bought, I don't use packing cubes, but some people live and die by them, so I'll try them, but I haven't really tried them. I live out of my suitcase. I don't take my stuff out of my suitcase and put them in a dresser. Just on this last trip with the girl with Las Vegas, I took my pajamas and put them in the dresser drawer. Couldn't remember where I put them. So stupid. So I use my suitcase all the time. I also take a travel pillow. So this is one that I had received on an international flight, I believe. You know, if you're flying anywhere and they give you the pillow and it's in a plastic container, which means it's been cleaned or brand new from the airline. And then they have these pillowcases for travel pillows, probably at Walmart or Kohl's or something like that. It's for allergies too. But that way I can take that off and clean it. You will notice it's weird looking. There's a reason behind that, because when I got this once upon a time and it was in white, I left it behind because it looked just like the rest of them. So this one says, Jeanette, take me. Me too, take me, take me. So I just did that design on that. If I could have found a bright pillowcase, I could have used that too. I had an orange one for years. I still managed to leave it somewhere. So make it obvious so that you can see it. I do that with these too. These are my adapters and a converter and an adapter. So they're white. Have you ever been to a hotel room? The walls are usually white and they blend in with the wall. So I put tape on them and it says, don't leave me, take me, because I've left them. If you happen to be in a hotel and you don't happen to have these, go check at the desk. They have a drawer full because everybody leaves them, but I don't because mine say take me. So the packing cubes I'll try. The latest in security, if you're kind of a nervous traveler. Any nervous travelers? Anybody afraid to travel? Okay, so this has a slash-proof thing. So in over a decade leading tours, I had one lady have a wallet stolen once. In Florence, in the center of the city, it was raining. She was holding an umbrella and her bag was hanging open. So her wallet did go and we had to go to the police and everything, but that's the only thing that's ever happened. I really believe that for the most part, people are not out to get you any more than they are here in the U.S. By the way, there's a lot of countries that suggest maybe you don't travel to the U.S. because we're dangerous. This one also has RFID blocking. So you can find these on Amazon. I didn't actually even take this on my last trip. I ended up taking a backpack because I don't love backpacks, but I was gonna be on a bicycle and I wanted to have my purse with me, so I dug up a backpack that looked like a purse. Another clear one, I love my Dooney and Burke purses. I've used these for years. I used to love a leather bag because I'm in Florence and they have great leather, but you know what about leather? Yes, super heavy. So cotton and nylon is much better. Not only that, but look at the inside of this, ladies. We can appreciate this. It's red and it's got like 100 pockets. Granted, I'm bragging, it's not really 100, but you can find things in there. And you can hang your keys on it. So and an iPad fits in there too. So I love that bag or any bag that does all that for me. The idea is, how does it help you? Not how cute it is or not. That is kind of ugly, frankly, but it is. But it's very useful. And then for the first 5 years or so when I was leading tours, I'd go to TJ Maxx every year and get a new cute suitcase. And every year it broke. Well, at least the wheels. So what happened was I finally happened across a Travel Pro luggage, and it rolls like a Mercedes. It drives really nicely. You have to always get a luggage now that will go down the aisle of the plane or the train. So Travel Pro, I actually even contacted Irv's Luggage, which is where I got this, and they have also repaired it for me before. So they'll repair it for the rest of its life. Irv's Luggage is in Vernon Hills. And I had them send me a flyer and some business cards even, because it's really great to have a good luggage place. They also have small bags like this. They have all kinds of things for travel, and it's a beautiful store. They used to be off by all the factories, but now it's just in Vernon Hills. You know, I have just this little thing to tell me mine apart. Sometimes I see a lot of people who use ribbons and stuff on their luggage to tell it apart. I also have this. I'm sort of embarrassed to do some of this, but they've worked for me so well. It's not pretty, it's a Vera Bradley bag. They don't actually make this one anymore. And you can see it's been through the ringer. I mean, it's been beat up, but it always goes under the seat in front of me on the airplane. And it has 1 million pockets, so everything has a place and everything goes in its place. I was actually a little bit jittery taking some of these things out of this bag. You know, you could call it a go bag because it's always packed. It's always packed at home. But I don't like that term because it sounds scary, a go bag, but it's ready to go bag. So it's also got a lot of pockets. Oh, look, another scarf. You know, so I'm always, if I go down to the University Club in Chicago, I take this with me. I carry it. Other people like something that rolls around their back, but this one, I get jittery taking stuff out of it because I'm afraid when I start packing again, I won't have it all. And then, one of the things that I really want to recommend, I should take a look at my slides here. Any questions?
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. What is the coating on the purse you talked about?
That one is just
RFID.
RFID. So that's about, yeah, supposedly it will help you not get your credit card numbers. So it's new technology. The RFID, supposedly they can read maybe parts of your passport. I also have Trusted Traveler, global entry, and so supposedly somebody who's looking to hack that stuff can get through it, unless you use that kind of thing that blocks it. My sister is holding my phone. That's what there's a picture of here, and this is something that I find kind of important. My phone has a strap. Your camera has a strap. You have a question?
No, I want to offer a brand new black, beautiful bag.
Okay. Okay. Okay, let's.
So if somebody wants.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you. She wants to get rid of something, so that's cool. So we'll talk about that after the talk. So I think that every phone should have a strap. So the strap is from the company called Moment. It's a photography company, but it fits on. In the case of my phone, you can see my sister's holding it, and it's got a little wrist strap. So I have seen phones fall into the canal, and they're gone. It was hilarious, but not for that guy or his boss. So there's another clear kit to show you, and then also please shop in the travel aisle, in the Jewel and the Costco and the Walgreens and everything. So this is a bin that I use for guests, and I shop there for myself too. So you can always, guests love to have a little shampoo thing, and then they can take it home. I also bring home the ones from hotels. And I tend to stay in hotels more than Airbnb, but that's just also a preference. Books, movies, look at what it did to movies. That was right before, oh well, say that, no big. It says movies. Little embarrassing. And TV. So I brought a bunch of books with me. I still like books. I can't help it, I like a book. Better than a Kindle or my iPad, although I will use those too. But I do have a book like this. It's a terrific book, and I totally recommend it. Fred Plotkin, Gourmet Travel Around Italy. And take pictures. By the way, use your phone to take pictures of the slides, because I will have ideas in a little while that you might want pictures of. But I take it apart. It's a little shocking. I'm a book person. But I took apart this book so that I could have the places I was using. I also love a map. I think GPS doesn't really teach us where we're going. I don't know. If you think it does, you're wrong. So knowing where you are on a map is much more information than just following GPS. I also want to recommend, and you're welcome to look at this stuff after the talk is done, preferably not while I'm talking, but the travel show. Has anybody here ever been to the Travel and Adventure Show? Good, good, good. So I really recommend it. So I've gone every year, and it's, kind of consistently the same. However, there's always some good talks. So the Travel and Adventure Show is all around the country, several locations. It's a business. I think there's a ticket that you pay, I don't know, maybe up to $20 a person. I go free because they consider me a travel advisor. But there are speakers like Rick Steves. He's there every year and he gives a couple talks. I think this year he probably did 3 or 4 talks, same talk, but still you could catch one of them. And he's, included in the price. Pauline Frommer was there, and I really love the Frommer family and their books. They gave us some nice reviews for the travel company I work for. And so those shows are here. It's at the Donald E. Stevens Center, over by the airport. And so this is some of the companies that are there. Actually, a huge company is AAA. They're a huge sponsor for this, and they have a lot of travel stuff. But you can also, I've met the people who own, for instance, the French Canal Boat Company have been there. They're lovely people. And there's a new, I guess it's a network called Go Traveler that I had not really heard of. So if you haven't, look it up, Go Traveler. It's a network with over 200 travel shows. So at the travel show this year, they had Colleen Kelly, who has a family travel show on Go Traveler and on PBS. So PBS and Go Traveler have a lot of the same people. But Colleen Kelly has a good family travel show, if anybody was here specifically for that. And Rick Steves shows about Europe are on there. Pauline Frommer has a podcast. So using the technology to get to some of those things is a great way to find them. Go Traveler and the Travel and Adventure Show. And the Travel and Adventure Show travels around the country. I think they're in New York right now. And then I thought that's also the kind of place where I happen to pick up the Turtle Hospital rescue, rehabilitation, release information. So a lot of people that are not just tour companies are at the Travel and Adventure Show. And if you have a theme that you're sort of interested in looking for, they might be there. They also have dancers from around the world. A couple years ago I was videotaping because the Irish dancers and the Indian dancers and the Bengalese dancers and the Asian dancers from South Korea, I think, were all dancing together and learning these dances together. And I just love when the world comes together, even if it's just for a dance. It was really terrific, and they were all learning a dance together. And then some of the other things I love are Patreon is a site, a website on the internet. And through it, I learned about a friend, Vero Savoya, who is a Rick Steves guide, as it happens. She lived for 20 years in Seattle and married to an American, raised a kid there, then went back home to France. And then the pandemic came in. So there were no Rick Steves tours that she could lead. So instead, she went online. Shoot, I was going to queue up one of her talks. So it's France with Vero. I've got a slide of it. But she goes walking, and pointing out the history of Paris, of Tours. I actually hired her when I was in Tours a couple of years ago for a private tour, and I recommend private tours, and I'll give you the names of some of those sources. And then Oliver G is another one that I follow on Patreon. Patreon is this website that's for creatives. So I pay $10 a month to her and to Oliver to help them have their small business online. And Oliver and his wife have made all these beautiful children's books. So take a look if you need books for your grandkids or anything. They are gorgeous stories of Paris because they're in Paris as well. So it really helped me through the pandemic because I was walking. I would take my iPad to the fitness center and I'm walking with this guide in Paris while I'm walking on the treadmill. But she's pointing out stuff, you know, and the different arrondissements, and you can really learn about history and whatnot. She's French girl, France with Vero. Then I think books that you never expect to be really good, so come and take a look after we're done at these books, because some of them are really good. This one is Giacomo Casanova. That's the real Casanova. And he wrote My Escape from Venice Prison, and it's a good travel book. That's how I learned. He was pretty obsessed with travel, I swear. That's how I learned that in those days they would take a carriage across the Alps, and they had to take the wheels off the carriage because it couldn't go through the snow. I mean, stuff like that is really interesting to me. I've become quite a history geek. And Dorling Kindersley always does good ones. La Bella Lingua is a phenomenal book if you want to hear not just about Italian language, but the history. So take a look at these books too. I love books. And then this other book that I brought is called The Art of Traveling Italy, An Insider's Guide to Traveling Fearlessly and Wiselessly. This one, shameless plug, I suppose, is written by a friend of mine, Sandy, who couldn't be here today. She was going to be on our Zoom, but she is also a tour manager and owns her own tour company, and she used a lot of my photography in the book, and I helped her edit it and whatnot. So it's a terrific source for traveling anywhere, but especially Italy. And she's on to writing books for France now coming up. Oh, here's the cards for the Irv's luggage. You can tell these people that Jeanette sent you or not. I don't get anything from it, but I want to share things that I really feel like have been useful for me. So that's my show and tell bit. Any questions? Okay, so this is all. What's the question?
It's not a question, it's actually a comment.
Okay.
I would recommend that people not drive a rental car in the heart of Florence on a Saturday afternoon.
You cannot even do that now. They have stopped people driving in the heart of Florence. So they've made it pedestrian only. So that's helpful. I didn't love driving in Italy at all. I'm slow, like the little old lady from Pasadena, only she's fast, isn't she? So I would say pass me. But they won't let you drive in Florence anymore right now, so it's pedestrianized. Yes, hi Pat.
What's the name of that last book you were saying?
The last one is called The Art of Traveling Italy, and it's the yellow one, so go ahead up there. Sandy Serio Gregory is the author. And so here's a picture of the people, again, of the Travel and Adventure Show. Pauline Frommer is there, Rick Steves is there. They had a contest to have a new show. So they have like 200 shows on Go Traveler. But they have Traveling While Black tried out for it. They ended up choosing a girl named Sarah who's doing travel based on, she's a librarian, so based on books, whether they were inspired by books or whether she goes to where the books take place. And there's Colleen Kelly with her kids, they're a little older now. She's a local lady who has a travel show about family travel, as I said, on Go Traveler and PBS. The Travel and Adventure Show Guide, and then other sources too, like Rick with his Monday Night Travel. He's got a call, and Vero has a weekly show. They have to do a lot of content. So if I'm looking for content online, I want it to be people I trust and admire, and not just some girl and her boyfriend who are adventuring around for the first time. They're lovely too. But I really want good information. So there's a picture of Go Traveler, and Rick Bayless has his show on there, so a lot of them have gone to that. And now I've got some ideas of apps and information that are the practical part of the talk. So insurance markets. Insurance is a must-do. I don't love it. I don't even always do it. I didn't do it for Las Vegas. But if you like insurance, The insurance markets that you can find online that are gonna be most useful for you are called squaremouth.com, insuremytrip.com, travelinsurance.com. But generally, it's probably not best if you buy the insurance through the travel provider. You will get better rates if you look. I forgot to include nomad.com. They have good prices on travel insurance, because I don't have a lot of needs. But you're gonna want to have cancel for any reason. That's been a big change since the pandemic. You have to have cancel for any reason, because it could pop up again. And I did travel through COVID some. We did some trips. Boy, it was interesting. We had to test over there, and, had to be negative, and my guests were going, what happens if it's positive? And I went, make a reservation. Nobody's gonna feel bad for you if you're stuck another night or a week in Ravello. They just won't. So, and as far as timing, when you're buying tickets, it is best off, and I do make a habit of purchasing airfare on Sundays, because as you can see, it's 6% cheaper domestic travel, 13% cheaper for international travel. And this is based on algorithms. So the algorithms that the airlines are using have come up with this. 28 days out for domestic travel, 2 to 4 months out for international, and you can save, 24%. Also, starting the day of your trip a little different. So if you're debating and you're gonna go someplace and you wanna go on a Sunday, you're gonna save more if you don't. A lot of that is based on the fact that still today, far less travel, but still some of it is business travel. So a lot of these algorithms are based on business travel versus tourism. You're gonna do better to start on actually Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, I would say. But 16% savings over flying on a Sunday before 3 p.m. or you risk being canceled or delayed by 50%, which is an interesting one. I rarely travel before 3 p.m. And so I've had good luck, knock on wood. Best for airfares. Here's a site, several sites that are good for airfares. Momondo is one that I've been using a long time. It's quite international. Southwest isn't on any of these though, so you gotta check Southwest by yourself. Kayak, Skyscanner, and Cheapo Air have all been really good sources for airfares. And often they will send you, like Momondo will send you to other sources. They don't sell tickets. They send you, they scan all the websites, they have ticket prices and show you the cheapest ones. And Momondo also will show you maybe in 3 weeks it's gonna be cheaper. So that's the kind of thing that Momondo breaks down for you. And then fees. Fees are an interesting thing. I've been telling people this, but I don't know if people know. Anybody work for an airline in here?
Oh,
Used to, okay. So fees. Airlines are taxed on the price of a ticket. That's how they pay taxes. They don't have to tax fees. So airfare's down, fees are up. Isn't that a coincidence? So as it happens, United Airlines, 122% of their ticket prices in fees now, because they're not getting taxed on them. It's a smart business move if you're a business, but I don't love it. So, and that's the rates. Delta's is even higher, the percentage of fees, because, so they can do that. It is what it is. And then debating about where you might like to stay. Everybody has a preference, Airbnb or VRBO.
Did you have American Airlines on there?
Did I? I don't know. Did I?
Can you go back to that slide?
Go
Sure.
up a little.
Or do you know
This
that?
one? You can take a picture.
Can it go down further?
Down?
To see if Americans on there?
So
It's not. Frontier is the bottom one.
mm,
Nope, that's all I have on there. Sorry, I must have forgotten that one. I would have put it up with Allegiant and Alaska. So I do not have American on there. That's funny that you would mention that. And I fly it all the time, and United, any of them. I do believe in loyalty cards. Gonna make a huge difference, or using your credit card. I use my United mileage card all the time, and it helps me save hundreds of dollars, but you have to pay attention to it, And then again, Airbnb and VRBO versus hotels, that is a personal preference. You're gonna find good and bad with both. If I'm staying someplace by myself, I prefer a hotel because there's somebody there at the door usually. So as a woman alone, it's a little safer feeling. But if I'm with a group, Airbnb is also good. I have come to really befriend porters and concierges They are really great people who really like to help people traveling. So that's where I can often get the best source for the restaurants nearby, or what's happening, what's this festival that's coming up, and things like that. Whereas at an Airbnb, sometimes you will, sometimes you won't. Also, I stayed in a beautiful Airbnb in Bordeaux a couple years ago. It was spectacular, dustiest place I've ever seen in my life. I mean, man, really dusty. And at Airbnb, she had a good rating, and it was a lovely place, and a lovely lady, frankly. Her 99-year-old mom lived upstairs. So she actually lived in the building, but there is no professional doing that, and they don't have professional standards that they must live up to, except what other people see. So it's up to you, as you choose. Audio tours. I do love Rick, met him several times, just said hi to him the other day, actually. He's got some great tours, and so this part of the talk is sort of about the technology that can be of service to you. Audio tours, if you're not wanting to hire a guide, I would still update my Venice with him every time I'm picking up people at the airport, because it's just good to rehear that stuff over and over. So you're standing there, you've got your phone, you've got the headphones, and you're listening to him tell you what you're looking at. So Rick has a really good program with that. I've not been on one of his tours. I'd consider it maybe. But I've met lots of other people who are, and they don't want people who are crabby, and they will tell you that right up front. And you have to be prepared to carry your own luggage, which we used to take care of the luggage for my guests. So, but you pay a little bit less, but his groups are a little bit big, so, you can learn so much from online from them. This is France with Vero. She's the one that I was talking about who lived in Seattle. And this is who I pay $10. Now, on YouTube, you can go on YouTube and see her walks for free. I tend to choose the walks that are like 54 minutes, because that's the length of time I want to be on the treadmill. And they're all interesting. She's so good. But then she's got 24-minute ones. And if you pay Patreon, then you get some extra content that she's created just for Patreons. Also, they have meetups. So if there's somebody, and it tends to be Francophiles, so this one tends to be France, but there are meetups with local people. I can find Chicago people, haven't actually done it, but I can find Chicago people who are France with Vero fans too, and get together with them. And when they go out there, they'll meet her. As I say, I hired her in tour. She's a brilliant guide, and I love a brilliant guide. This is Oliver G. His Patreon thing is called Earful Tower. It's not a good name, but Earful. And he was a journalist, young guy, he's probably 32 now, and was living in Paris. Now he's been there probably about 10 years. Married a girl from, she's from Amsterdam? She might be Dutch. He's Australian. And they live in Paris. So what I like about some of that is it is an outsider's point of view. So Vero has an insider's point of view. Oliver has an outsider's point of view. And I think both of them are useful. Valid. This is Sandy's company. She does small group tours. She was hopefully going to Zoom in with us, but couldn't today. She is at a funeral, unfortunately, but her knowledge and her interest and her care. So again, about the themes, lately she's have trips that are based on a book club. So they read books for a year, and then they go where the books are placed. So they know a lot of stories, and it's small groups, so I still really like a small group thing, and I'll be probably working for Sandy with a couple of things. This is Venice Guide and Boat. She is Cinzia, and she's my girlfriend who is a Venetian. She was born there, and Luigi, her husband, too. And there's a picture of their taxi boat. He's just retired, and she leads tours in Venice as it happens, and so hopefully she's going to be able to zoom in with us for a few minutes, because a lot's happening in Venice these days. Boy, a lot's going on over there. And it's unusual, because what we do not do in this country very well is train tourism, but they do. So she has her bachelor's and master's in Venetian history and art, and so I think that's something we could do. I did train, but I was lucky that I had parents who had me travel, and that I was able to lead groups because I taught aerobics and stuff like that. I used to manage kids. But I also, I went to an academy. There's International Guide Academy in Denver, And there's one other one in San Francisco to train to be, I'm a certified international tour planner, tour manager, sorry. So, I mean, we could use a little more education here, but they do it pretty well in Europe. Because tourism, it's a big group of companies, because it encompasses hotels, restaurants, tours, museums, chateaux, everything, and it's very difficult to say, oh, this is the tourism dollars, because it's in the billions of dollars. So several of the sources, Kay Bella Tours is Sandy's company, and then if you're traveling to, where do I have, Venice, I have Cynthia, she's in Rome, I have France with Vero, I have a friend, Steve Calvo, who's a tour guide in Paris, Eiffel Tower. April in Paris is another Parisian guide. You can tell I get to Paris quite a bit. Sue Grimditch is a lovely woman who is a London guide. And so you think, oh, I speak the language there, but the guides know so much more. They live there, they breathe there, they're always going to know more than even the last year's book, because they're there on a regular basis. So if you can, it can be pretty inexpensive to travel independently and then have some nice private tours. You can travel like a rock star that way. And then, get your guide and Viator. Also have decent guides. Yeah, I've had good luck with them both. There's been sometimes with Viator that it wasn't brilliant, but I would get my Eiffel Tower tickets so that you don't have to wait in line. And they have such a huge selection. They're growing all the time. Get your guide. I had a wonderful guide with them in France, in Normandy with Jackie. And then Trainline is a great app. It is trains with schedules and tickets, and you can buy the tickets there, whether it's France, Italy, England, lots of trains are on the Trainline app. I also have some apps on my phone, but my sister's recording, so I'm not gonna look at my phone right now. But I also like Hopper is an app for your phone. I can't think of the rest. So this is what I also do. And it's kind of kitschy, but I love it. I travel and I gather ornaments from where I am. So those are all ornaments. They don't match. They don't look particularly sophisticated, but it's really helped me when I'm decorating my Christmas tree now, and I used to be, crabby about it, even though I love a Christmas tree, because I was doing it by myself, but now each of my Christmas ornaments is a story that I remember. So I love it, and they're not even all ornaments. The Venetian mask is a pin, but I put a ribbon on it. There's a little Irish necklace thing. The little boat is a toy. And I get a lot of keychains, because they're easy to find, and I stick them on the branches. So it's just something to do. And I collect magnets too. So it's silly. And then this is just a pretty picture of Positano that's telling me that we are done with this. So next step is, let's see if we can zoom in with Cinzia and Steve. So we will take a few minutes, stretch if you need to.
I think we're already on.
And wherever you go, go with all your heart. That's a Confucius saying.